A phone call has got me spiraling. This comes from the OK Storytime subreddit. Let's get into it. I, male 29 and female 28, have been seeing each other for about a month, went out maybe 5 times, and had schmecks about 3 times. We texted mostly every day, and I have been unsure about her this whole time. Where we are going, or if it was somebody I even wanted to date long term. Over the last 4.5 years, I've locked in and have been saving all I can, working extra side gigs in the winter, trying to get about 80K saved up for a down payment to buy a house on Ontario, Canada, for context, because the cost of living here is absolutely outrageous. I used to be I don't know how to say promiscuous, I guess, in his early 20s, but now I just see one girl at a time, looking for somebody that meshes well with me and to find a life partner to potentially buy a house with. So this is something I potentially thought about prior to seeing her. Over the last week, I became more unsure about her. I find she is extremely clingy and bombards my phone with texts throughout the day, even after I've expressed my disdain or my distaste for that, and that it turns me off and is also frustrating. Most of these texts are either 20 questions at work or whatever thoughts are going through her brain at the given time. She says she has ADHD. While we do get along, I just find many red flags with her. She always wants to go out and spend money and is always trying to fit me into her plans, and I'm not currently up for anything important. She tries to force herself into my plans. I thought about calling it off with her, but she wanted to get to know her better before I made a rash decision, more so because I used to self sabotage relationships in the past. Anyways, yesterday was quiet and didn't really text me at all throughout the day, and finally texted me that evening that we needed to talk. So when I got the chance, I gave her a call, and I was thinking she was realizing I wasn't into it as much as she probably felt that. Boy, was I wrong. She said that she was late and has taken a few tests and they were positive. She said she didn't know at all what to do, trying to blame herself, and that she wasn't even sure if it was 100%, and asked if I was mad that she told me. Me, taken aback by this news, was silent for 10 seconds, said it's not really anybody's fault and this stuff happens every day, and that there's no need to jump to conclusions until she finds out for sure. But I also expressed that I am in no shape ready to be a dad right now, and that I'm still trying to figure out my own life, and I'm running behind and feeling like I'm running behind on life. As she said that she doesn't know how she feels, and said she has a lot of thinking to do, and is expressed my needs for a drink to settle my nerves. She said she can't now. So it seems to me she's probably already made up her mind, and I'm kind of forced into parenthood in the event that she is indeed pregnant. I'm probably a huge a-hole for this, but she kept texting me, freaking out as if she wasn't the one in control of what happens next. One drink for me turned into three, and I blacked out. I blurted it out, I think she should get a That's not really cool. But I told her it was completely irresponsible for strangers to have a child together who weren't even in an established relationship or living together, and now would mean a hard life for people completely unprepared or even on the same page for something like this. I also said there's no real way for either of us to get ahead from here on out if she goes through with it. I said I think it would be cruel for the child to have to suffer because we were irresponsible. Not only that, but more than likely this wouldn't have worked out between us, so I'd be stuck for the next 18 years maybe 22 years paying child support. At least 1K a month based on my income for child support. My dreams of a home ownership would be gone, and any dreams of opening my own business would also be gone. I also had dreams of leaving Canada. She says it was her intention for me to feel like, wasn't her intention for me to feel like this. And while I feel bad about it all, I'm in panic mode right now because I feel like I'm going to give up everything for a kid I never asked for, living paycheck to paycheck until my late 40s, all because one night slip up when we were drunk. It's not that I don't want to be a dad, but it's that I wanted to do it under the right circumstances with somebody I love and wanted to build a life with, and not a stranger. I feel like regardless of my role, I would end up as a bank account or estranged from the child anyway. She messaged me in the middle of the night, and at this point my thoughts were running wild, and I told her I didn't want to see her anymore regardless of what choice she made, and that I don't want to talk to her anymore. She then tells me that I won't be included with what decision she makes, and I won't know what will happen. Obviously, she could turn around in a few years' time and come after me, but I have zero ideas what to do, and I'm dreading to tell my family, as my mom would be so happy because she's getting bored in her late 50s, especially my grandma's would be elated to meet great grandchild, but I really don't want this to be my reality yet. You don't need to tell me how evil I am, but I'd like to hear the internet's people's thoughts before I go further. My personal opinion, it should be both your guys' decision. It shouldn't just be up to her on that. And, there is other options. Obviously, you don't want to be with this person. And if you don't really want to be a dad, I mean, get a DNA test first. But you might end up having to pay child support. But, I mean, it's really going to be up to you guys. Yeah, I mean, that really sucks. But yeah, let's go to the comments. First off, how can you be sure it's yours? If she is in fact pregnant and you don't want to be a dad, then ask for a paternity test when the time comes. If you are the dad, unfortunately, you will be on the hook for child support if she files, but you don't have to be a part of the child's life. Next time, wrap it up, bud. I agree. Paternity test, and if it's yours then she has the baby, you need to step up. You don't have to be in a romantic relationship with her, but come on, dude, you cannot leave her financially stranded if she has the baby and it's yours. Also, accidents happen, and unfortunately when you there is always a chance of having a baby. And OP says, while I understand those things, it's 2026 and we supposedly have the right to choose, except if you are a man, you are financially obligated to do whatever she says for the duration of the child's adolescence. If both parties are not wanting that responsibility either, we should all have the right to choose, or none of us do, is my opinion. And obviously, I won't abandon the child. I'll raise it in a broken home and be like every other broken family that raises broken adults and perpetuates an ongoing cycle. All jokes aside, I'm hoping she either is lying or that the kid isn't mine and she's indeed pregnant, if she is indeed pregnant. If not, it's going to be a rough 20 years for me. It doesn't have to be a rough 20 years. I mean, you guys obviously aren't going to be in a romantic relationship. You've already said that you aren't interested in pursuing that any further. Be honest with her. But yeah, just take some deep breaths, and you're not going to be able to find out anytime soon. But anyways, good luck, I guess. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.